Ty Majeski for the second straight year in a row will lead them to green. Christian Eckes on the outside. Race number 12 for the Craftsman Truck Series is green. Nice initial start as they head down into turn 1. Christian Eckes on the inside. Ty Majeski chose the outside.
You see that run is Ty's gonna be able to carry off a turn 2. Able to clear him down the back straightaway, get that draft. These trucks are going to draft down the straightaway like you see here. The runs are going to be able to be built as they break down into turn 3.
Yeah, they punch such a big hole in the air with these trucks, Joey, don't they? That's why they draft so well, even on a 1.25 mile racetrack.
Absolutely. This track is definitely confused if it wants to be a 1.5 mile type speedway
or a short track.
It depends on what part of the track you're at.
Well, you saw Corey Heim right away. Didn't want to waste any time. Jumped right out of line as you see him on the inside of Ben Rhodes, trying to pick up that spot.
And this is what I'm talking about. When they get side by side like this, he's going to try to side draft him. Can't quite keep his left rear quarter. That side draft down these straightaways is so powerful. If you're able to keep his left rear quarter on the straightaway, you're going to be in better position when you get to the corner.
And sometimes when you do that, that gives that truck behind you a good opportunity to maybe get a 2-for-1.
So look for that throughout the day for sure. Now this is the heavy braking zone we talked about in the turn 1. Ben Rhodes is going to try to dive it off in there, get some air on his nose, try to wrap that bottom the best he can. And he's going to try to pull that side draft off that we were talking about.
I was talking to some of the crew chiefs, Joey, and they said 500 to 600 pounds of brake pressure getting in turn 1 here at this racetrack.
All of it. Now this is where we've seen some accidents, right? Where they're side by side into the corner. The inside truck's going to get really loose. It's really important to make sure you get down onto that paint, keep your truck under control. And you see Corey Heim trying to follow through here.
And I think Taylor Gray with that 17 did a nice job of giving that truck on the inside some room, because as you mentioned earlier, a lot of times when that truck on the inside gets loose, it takes you with him.
Yeah, you don't want to give him room because you don't want to give the spot, but you also don't want to get wrecked.
Taylor Gray's older brother, Tanner Gray, by the way, started in the rear. They made an unapproved adjustment before the start of the race, so he's already making his way forward up to 25th.
This racetrack looks really racy. We talked about it earlier that you're going to see two lanes, maybe even 3 lanes, and it looks like we already have 2 lanes, even with all the water, the rubber washed off.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit, and as these tires start to wear out a little bit and tire fall off, the trucks will move up. But down here, 1 and 2, you already see that they got a couple lanes going down here already. I think you give this race another 15, 20 laps. 3 and 4 is going to look just the same.
Hearing Lane Riggs had a little moment, started 15th, lost a few positions in that 38 truck. Here it is.
That's the blue truck right side of your screen. Tries to get underneath Chase Purdy, and the 77 was really low. Maybe got the left sides on the rumble strips down there, possibly. We saw how wet they were when they were drying the track.
I think that, and you got a truck right on your door, and you're trying to power down. I'm sure he was down in 3rd gear trying to pull all that power down and just got a little free. You can hear him shifting right there, Daniel Dye.
Riding on board with Daniel Dye, the racetostopsuicide.com on board, brings us so many shots. Every single race, he's right where the action is. As you see, looking right ahead, that's last year's winner, Grant Enfinger, back there in the 9th spot.
Oh, by the way, he has Jake Garcia right next to him as they battle down into turn 1. As Joey said, a hard braking zone down in the turn 1. A little bit of a downshift right here. See if Jake can get that bite off the bottom, or will Daniel have the momentum from the high side?
Yeah, and I think as we listen to some of these trucks, not all of them are shifting down in 1 and 2. It seems like it kind of depends on the balance of your truck. If you're loose, you may not want to downshift. If you're stuck underneath somebody, though, you may grab that downshift because you don't have that momentum. You got a little lower RPM. The shift may be worth more.
I was talking to Corey Heim about that shifting. He said you can really, depending on how your truck handles, you can shift maybe at a different point, downshift at a different point to try to help that truck a little bit. Maybe if you're tight, you want to downshift a little bit earlier, and that'll help that truck turn a little bit.
Yeah, it's basically, by doing that, you're kind of adding rear brake to the car, right? All that engine braking is going to the rear tires. That's going to free your truck up if you're a little bit tight rolling.
See that beautiful green and white number 7 truck. That's Andres Perez making his Truck Series debut. He's the point leader in the National Series for the ARCA Menard Series.
Yeah, doing a great job running up in the top 15 right now. See Raja Karuth, HendrickCars.com Chevy.
Talked about Raja drove that 7 truck just a couple of years ago. Made his debut right here, finished 11th.
That 7 truck is loose. He says holy guacamole on it. He's saying holy moly right now. That thing is, she's a little too free.
Remember back for Raja Kruth just a couple years ago. Everybody all of a sudden knew who Raja was, what a great job he did here. Now he's a race winner, won earlier this season. So he has that pressure off him. He knows he's locked into the playoffs. 3 wide right here. There's another one making his Truck Series debut. That's Luke Fenhaus in the 66, getting racy back there. Can he save it?
Nope.
That's Luke Fenhaus.
Lock it down.
That's what we see so many times, Joey. We talked about it. That truck on the bottom is going to lose that downforce.
And we talked about it a little bit during the rain delay for us, that you guys weren't listening to us because we were sitting up here bored. But this is a situation, this caution coming out, lap 11. They can pit here and get to the end of the second stage. This is going to present a big opportunity for a lot of teams to maybe do that. It'll be interesting to see how this pit road works.
See, it moved to the inside, and then Lawless Allen moved over and actually pushed him a little bit lower. He tries to get back up in position, but he had a bad angle getting down in the corner.
Bad angle, touches the curb a little bit, has to woe that truck up, and just too much happening.
Yeah, this might be a great opportunity for Tanner Gray. We talked about him going to the rear. That's him right there in the 15 truck, right in front of the spin by Luke Fenhaus. It may be a great opportunity for him to employ a little strategy, come in and know that he has enough fuel to get to the end of the second stage.
Absolutely. Now, depending on the fall off that some of these guys are seeing here so far, that's what's going to make the decision on this. They might come in, top it off, maybe put 2 tires on, maybe just do a fuel only is a possibility as well, depending on what position you're in. This definitely opens the window, the strategy window up for sure.
Well, we were talking about Tanner Gray. How about an update, Michael?
Well, in the scanner, I just heard Jeremy Donnelly say, we're coming for sure. Depending on how many trucks pit in front of them, they'll either take 2 or 4. So if not many people stop, he'll take 4. But he likes his truck. He likes where he's at. And this is that playbook, guys, that I talked about being open, wide open. They're going to come now and stay out later.
Yeah, good update. Just like you said, Joey, options.
Well, now the other option is, too, if you stay out here, you can collect a lot of points, right? So if you pit here, you're kind of giving up your stage 1 points pretty much. Unless all of them pit, which is a possibility. Outside of that, you may say, man, if you're a Matt Crafton right now, you're 16th, you need points. The opportunity's up there to maybe grab 10, 9, 8 points, something like that. You don't have that many laps on your tires. It's not a huge penalty if you can get clean air on that truck. If you can get the lead, I think I would take it if I was in his position.
Short stages here for the Craftsman Truck Series, just 35 laps first stage, 35 laps stage number 2, and 90 laps for the third and final stage.
Pit road is open. We'll see how many takers we're going to get. Nobody so far. There's an access road here on the inside of turn 3 and 4 that you have to commit to pit road fairly early down the backstretch. There we see one of the trucks there coming to pit road. Now we've got a few coming. Tanner Gray, that 15, is definitely one of them right there, right behind Connor Mozak in the 45.
They were listening, Joey. They like that idea. Come down, get some fresh tires. Leaders stayed out as Colby Howard makes his way down pit road into his pit box. Caution number 1 is out for this incident. 3 wide as Luke Fenhaus goes around. We'll be back with more racing from St. Louis. This is the second race of the trip. It's the Triple Truck Challenge. Some familiar names have won over the years. Ross Chastain, Sheldon Creed, picking up some extra cash. Corey Heim did it in 2022. And Grant Enfinger, $50,000 last year. So last week was the first, and that man right there, Nick Sanchez, won the race, picked up $50,000. If he wins this one, he picks up an additional $100,000. And if he wins our next race at Nashville, $500,000 for this young man. But if anybody else wins, they could take
$50,000. And that $500,000 is half of what Joey Logano won at Wilkesboro just a couple of weeks ago.
What'd you do with that money, by the way?
Well, I like to say I got all of it, but that's not quite the case.
Roger took a little bit of it.
Yeah, I got a cut, and it was great. And then I believe I gave the rest of the taxes.
There's that. Well, what's Ben Rhodes thinking?
None of us heard them open pit road right there, and none of us heard them call caution, just so you know. So that's why the caution was a little late. That's about the time I saw it. The biggest thing is just be aware of the light today, okay?
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on the lights.
Yeah, so all the spotters, they scan NASCAR, right? NASCAR has a radio. The spotters can all hear that, so when they call the caution, the spotter can hear that and deliver that message to the driver. Pit road open or close is another thing as well. Sounds like there's some communication issues at the moment. Maybe they'll fix them up.
Ben Rhodes shown in the 6th spot. Beautiful sun shining on this racetrack as we get ready for our first restart of the day. Nothing has changed up front. Ty Majeski in the 98. Christian Eckes in the 19, and we're green once again.
Ty likes that outside on the restart. He did it on the initial start as well.
Aggressive push by the 2 and Nick Sanchez. Look at Stuart Friesen on the inside.
I say that's what he likes the most, is Sanchez giving that push down into the corner. But look at Christian Eckes. He's going to be able to clamp onto that left rear. That's that side draft we talk about. They're going to battle down into the corner. What Eckes is trying to do is try to keep him at his right rear quarter. He's going to get more downforce by doing that. And that's going to be enough to take the lead.
Great
And he does
by
it.
Christian Eckes.
Christian Eckes to the lead. Ty Majeski just behind him. Nick Sanchez looking pretty sporty back there in the 2, and he has Stuart Friesen coming off his best finish of the year of 2nd, right there in the 4th spot.
Yeah, great racetrack here for Stuart Friesen. I think top 5s, maybe the last 5 starts here for Friesen.
He had quite a day yesterday, almost missed his connection, flying commercial here to St. Louis. He gets here, had an issue in practice and qualifying, but it all worked out.
We missed the first third of the practice because they failed inspection twice. They got through on their 3rd try, but missed a little bit of the practice, but all good now.
I think they got all the time they needed, 11 minutes. They dialed in the truck, had a good qualifying effort, and sideways for Christian Eckes. As the 98, Majeski back to the point.
Did he have a little help, maybe?
He had a little bit of help there. I was watching how Majeski was able to just follow him so closely through 3 and 4 before he was able to make that move. Packs air down into the corner, takes a lot of air off the spoiler, and I think he might have got into him a little bit to help him as well. Made that pass. See you later.
Just a little help.
And I think some of that is Majeski understands, I have a really fast truck. I need to maintain control of this race. He doesn't want to give up control. Stuart Friesen really going to get loose underneath Sanchez here. That's what I'm talking about. The trucks get side by side like that. That inside truck's going to get loose. And it's going to be a run from the truck right behind them here. It's going to have to make a decision before he gets into the corner what he's going to do.
Dean Thompson back there getting impatient in the 5 truck. And look who's lurking. Corey Heim, a 3-time winner on the season already. Up a few positions from the start.
It's his teammate right in front of him. One of his teammates, Dean Thompson, bottom of your screen. That's the lead change we saw. There's that saying right up next to him, down in 1 and 2. There's that nudge.
Yeah, he was trying to kind of wrap that curb real tight. And
Eckes might have got a little loose, maybe, and stalled his momentum.
Just enough, give him just enough room. This is going to be a better angle right here. See, he just opens the door a little bit. And Majeski just tries to stick his nose there a little bit. And, looked like racing to me.
Yeah, no harm, no foul.
Well, let's get an update on the 98 of Ty Majeski. Michael.
Yeah, I was listening to Joe Shear, and Ty told him that his truck was really, really good in 3 and 4, a little tight in 1 and 2. And I was going to ask Joey Logano, is that normal about this place? Is that the way the track kind of races itself? And maybe Joey can answer me after we get a report from Regan. Regan, what's happening?
Well, Michael, the 99 of Ben Rhodes sitting right there around the playoff cut line right now. A little update from him to the team that they likely did not want to hear. He is having trouble already early in this race, shifting from third to fourth gear. Something going on within the transmission of that, causing him some trouble right now. So keep an eye on that. They're going to be shifting a lot today in the corners. He can't afford to have that happen.
Yeah, these trucks, they don't shift as smooth as the Cup cars. The Cup cars have a sequential shifter. It's really easy to shift. These things still got the H pattern in it. And sometimes you get a little dirt within the linkage, something like that, and you're going to want to shift here. That's going to be a massive problem.
And it probably isn't going to get any better. It might not get worse, but that situation probably won't get any better.
That's Luke Fenhouse you just saw in the 66 that brought out the first caution. Truck is in good shape. Racing all over this racetrack. I mean, you talk to the drivers, they get excited. The high speeds of this place, the options, the shifting, it puts it more in your hands, and we're kind of seeing all of that here early. 13 laps to go in stage number 1 of the Toyota 200. Ty Majeski leads Christian Eckes. Welcome back to the Toyota 200. Listening in on Matt Crafton, sounds like they maybe have an issue. Listen.
Motor just shut off. Literally shut off. I turned the ignition off, back on, and it fired. Did it again, or shut off again.
Not good. I mean, we talked about it in the pre-race here. They must do good, right? We didn't say they're a must-win, but they must do good. Having an electrical issue like it sounds like he's having right now could be putting him into must-win situation next week. Hopefully they're able to diagnose what it is and he can recover. But I guarantee you when it shuts off, you're losing spots, multiple spots when you have no power.
Yeah, he was running 16th when it happened the first time. He's back to the 23rd position right now.
Troubles continuing maybe for Ben Rhodes. Regan, now what are they saying?
Well, Jamie, it's gone from bad to worse for Ben Rhodes. Ben Rhodes started off having trouble shifting from third to fourth. He has now updated the team that he cannot shift at all from third to fourth. He has to stay in fourth gear the whole time. They are working on a plan right now of checking inside that truck as soon as they can get back down pit road, maybe looking at the shifter boot, potentially trying to fix that area.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing when you're up and running right now, but a restart, being stuck in fourth gear, he's going to lose 20 spots just into turn one. And his ability to race other trucks is going to be really hard to do. That power that he's going to need up underneath the truck trying to pass somebody, that third gear really helps that. If he can't get it in there, completing passes is going to be hard all day long.
Yeah, hopefully he can, and he won't know that until the caution comes out, possibly at the end of the stage, if not before, whether he even has first or second gear. You know, he might even, if he doesn't have first, second, or third gear, then he won't even be able to get out of his pit box without taking so much extra time.
Ty Majeski with about a 2-second lead over Christian Eckes. He's led 28 laps. Christian Eckes scored his leading 2 laps so far today. You see that gap. Nick Sanchez in third. Stuart Friesen, Corey Heim rounds out the top 5.
Yeah.
Another impressive effort for Dean Thompson back there running top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to talk about Majeski, our leader, as well. That thing is impressive. That truck, we talked about how good it looked in practice, and he is really checked out on the field right now, a couple seconds ahead after he took the lead back on the restart after losing it. It'd be interesting to see how he approaches restarts, because that seems like maybe his vulnerable position is going to be maybe pit road and restarts.
I wonder if maybe he would change his mind and maybe take the inside if he's able to win the battle off pit road.
Heck of a battle here between Chase Purdy and Raja Karuth for 12th, the 77 and the 71 truck. Well, let's hear what the plan is for Ty Majeski, Michael.
Yeah, Jamie, just talked to Joe Shearer Jr. Life is good in this pit, which is bad news for the competition. He's going to get no adjustments and 4 tires at the end of this stage. He's very happy with his truck, and it's just cruising, as Joe Shearer Jr. told me.
Mikey, I feel like it's a repeat of last year. They were so strong. I feel like there's a little redemption burning inside of him. He wants to finish it out and get the win.
Now, let's not forget, the caution came out with 10 laps into this race. You had 5 or 6 trucks pit there. Their game plan is to stay out. So most likely Majeski will not be restarting the second stage as the leader. He'll probably be 4th, 5th-ish, possibly.
Remember, Tanner Gray was one of those trucks that came down pit road. He has made his way all the way back up to the 16th position, so he has a fast truck as well, and he will be up front on this restart.
He also has a tire advantage. Now he'll be at a tire disadvantage when we restart.
Yes.
Because he'll have, what, 25 laps or so on his tires.
There he is right there, right side of your screen now, right behind Ty Dillon and that white and blue number 25 truck.
Final lap of stage number 1 here at St. Louis. All that waiting around for that weather to clear, and now it's just they're clicking them off. These truck races, you can't blink, you got to stay tuned, have your drink in hand, and don't leave your TV set. As Ty Majeski works his way around, looking for stage win number 1 here at St. Louis. And there it is. Christian Eckes, Nick Sanchez, Stuart Friesen, Corey Heim. So far, so great for Ty Majeski. Leader of 33 laps and counting. Can he hang on, make it to victory lane for the first time in 2024? Stay tuned. Next week, it doesn't get any better than Super Saturday on Fox. First, it's Phillies Mets from London, followed by the Belmont Stakes live from Saratoga. And in prime time, it's Dodgers versus the Yankees. That's all on Fox and the Fox Sports app. And of course, NASCAR is going road course racing. We'll be out in Sonoma, wine country. A lot of sports happening next weekend. Pit Road is open, and we're going to do a little special Trucks Pit Road. Crank it up.
Here comes the 32. Watch your right front. Here he comes. Outside. Gear, second gear, second gear.
Well done. Adjustments everywhere. As you see how close the trucks come to pit road, all the pit crews going to the right side. This is such a narrow pit road. A lot of action there. We'll line them back up. Drop the green flag for stage number 2. That's coming up from St. Louis. Well, Matt Crafton talked about the issues. His truck had shut off twice. So on this pit stop, crew member goes inside the truck. They go under the hood to try to help.
Yeah, I think he changed the ECU, the engine control unit. Remember, he talked about it shutting off twice, and then he just turned the ignition switch back off and back on. So looks like they changed the ECU to see if maybe that helps. But he did stay on the lead lap, so that's the good news. And Luke Finhouse got a free pass. So every truck right now on the racetrack is on the lead lap.
We haven't had much of a long run yet, but I think Michael's got an update on Stuart Friesen.
The team elected Joey to take 2 tires. What went into that decision, Jimmy? Because you had a great truck. You feel good about it?
I feel really good about it. You know, the team's done a great job all day. Stewart's done a great job. This place is all about track position, so tires don't mean that much.
Right on. They're up front there, guys.
Thank you, Michael. Love to hear what they're thinking and how they think it'll benefit them. Just, it all depends on how your truck is running, how your balance is at the time, right, Joey?
Well, now you got what was the best truck, a Ty Majeski. He's got some trucks to pass. He's back there. You see him, it's a 4th or 5th row on the outside.
Tanner Gray, Colby Howard at the front. First 3 truckers stayed out. The first one that pitted, Nick Sanchez, back and forth.
That's Connor Mozak, one of those trucks that stayed out, started on the inside. He's going to get a little bit loose. Pinches off the 2 of Sanchez. Remember, Sanchez was won the battle off of pit road.
So that's 2 tires versus no tires. Those top 3 trucks were able to stay out.
Ooh, 3 wide. Majeski gets squeezed up a little bit by his teammate Ben Rhodes.
Stuart Friesen, the 52. Michael just updated him. Took 2 tires as he goes side by side with Grant Enfinger. 3 wide behind him. Jake Garcia thinking about making it 4 wide.
Thought better of it, too. Holy guacamole.
You see that top lane down the straightaway, though. When those trucks are able to draft and stay in line, those trucks on the outside put 2 to 3 car lengths, and the 33 is going to get really loose. There's a 4 wide moment for you.
Lawless Allen thinks better of it. He falls back. But that 7 truck, Andres Perez, point leader in the ARCA Menard Series. First time here, first time with a competitive pit stop. So a lot of things being thrown at him.
Well, battle right there. There's Ben Rhodes, the 99. Grant Enfinger, the 9. Battling up inside the top 6.
And this is what happens, right? Like you're in control of the race. Everything's good. You think put 4 tires on your truck. Let's just keep going with it, but you get stuck in this traffic and he's in a vulnerable position where he can get damage.
Saw the 99 truck of Ben Rhodes in 5th, maintaining 5th. Regan reported those issues with him. It was stuck in gear, so not sure if they've worked through it or around it at this point.
I don't think how little time he spent on pit road, there was no way that they even had got a chance to look at that issue.
It might just be a little clunky when he was shifting, but maybe still able to shift.
This is Daniel Dye, the Racetostopsuicide.com on board. He was too fast entering on that round of pit stop, so he's driving through the field, trying to make up for lost ground.
There goes Nick Sanchez by Colby Howard. And that 2 truck that moves Nick up to the 3rd spot. Here comes Ben Rhodes. He's going to work to the inside as well.
Looks like the one, he's got a little right front tire rub, possibly some damage there on the right front. You see the smoke through the corner. That's a lot of damage. That's going to hurt the downforce on that truck a lot.
Not to mention that right front tire that's rubbing as well.
Meanwhile, Tanner Gray, who started in the back for an unapproved adjustment, they got off sequence with their strategy, older tires. He stayed out. He is the leader. Got that big win in the ARCA race, his first career win last week at Charlotte. Feels like it was a month ago, Phil, but he went to victory lane, and here he is leading today.
Was it really 1 week ago?
I know. There's been a lot of racing and a lot of action since all of that.
Well, he's going to have to run as the caution's out. There's the right front tire, most likely that blew out.
Yep.
Colby Howard.
I think most of us saw that coming.
Yeah, you can see that coming. And back to the race, this is not what Tanner Gray wanted. He had a 2-second lead. He's on a tire disadvantage. He just lost his buffer cars. The other cars that did not have tires, he had those as a buffer to try to keep those faster trucks back there. Now he's going to have to restart with the fast trucks right behind him. Much more vulnerable position for him.
Let's look back exactly what happened to Colby Howard to give him that damage to begin with.
See, there's the damage right there. It's already happened.
You see the tire kind of coming apart there. A lot of debris flying.
And there it goes.
Oh, this is going to hurt.
And nothing he could do about it once that tire goes down. He really is just along for the ride.
And those hits, man, right fronts go down. There's, like you said, Phil, no control. Nothing you can do as a driver. You can't slow down. You can't steer. You're along for the ride, and you know it's going to hurt.
And it takes about 10 minutes for it to happen, doesn't it?
Oh, God. It's the worst.
This was Colby Howard's second start for Tricon Garage. Finished 7th at Darlington, driving for them. Great effort, but huge damage here as the team assesses.
Yeah, he had such a hard hit. That may even be terminal for that truck.
I'm pretty certain it is with a hit that big.
Yeah, and that truck has really done a nice job with multiple drivers. I think they've had 5 different drivers that have scored top 10 finishes in that truck.
So caution is out for the 3rd time today. 13 laps in to stage number 2. Stay with us. Tanner Gray leads.
slipping up.
He's going around, bumping and banging.
Oh, they both wrecked.
Oh, no. Trouble.
Get through there. Keep it locked down.
Oh, it's a big pile up there.
Wow. Mess.
Oh, trouble. Slipping up.
He's going around, bumping and banging.
Oh, they both wrecked.
Oh, no.
Trouble. Get through there. Keep it locked down.
Oh, it's a big pile up there.
Wow. Mess.
Oh, trouble.
The last 2 races in a row at St. Louis, 11 cautions. We've seen some carnage. Big hit today. Colby Howard, that's the latest one that brought out caution number 3 on today. Why do we see so many cautions here, Joey?
Have you watched the race in here?
It's pretty good.
They're fighting for space. They're fighting for space.
Oh, there is not enough of it here at Gateway. This is an incredible racetrack. I don't know if this racetrack gets the credit it deserves all the way through, right? Obviously, the racing surface puts on a great race. They do a fantastic job at the racetrack for the fans. They got concerts. They got an incredible sound system for everybody. Like, they do the basics really, really good at this racetrack. And I think everybody enjoys it for that reason, but it also creates a lot of restarts when they're racing like that.
Well, Nick Sanchez, second right now, Regan.
Jamie, that's right. He did a nice job working his way back through traffic after that earlier caution when they came down pit road. But take a listen to the radio. A little bit of concern there.
Everything feels good and drives good. All right, so there's no hole, but it is pushed in. It's about 8 inches wide, and it's about 5 inches below the headlight, just above where the where it goes to bend over the nose. Maybe a little bit more downforce.
Checked with the team just a moment ago. They said they're not concerned about where the damage is on the right front, and as they just said on the radio, they think it may actually perhaps help them just a little bit. So maybe a little bit of lucky break right there. He was tight prior to that happening.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to help them. It's probably just them trying to make their driver feel better about it. I haven't seen a hole in the nose help yet. I mean, I guess if you have to be really loose, but maybe the front won't turn and the rear's still loose.
I think it's pushed in, but I don't see a hole there. Do you, Joey?
I don't see much.
No.
That's just a little dent.
Yeah, if there's no hole, I think he's fine.
Run it. That probably came from the push on the restart. I think it was at the end of the first stage.
Or maybe that first caution.
When he was pushing Majeski on the outside. That must be where that came from.
I think that was that like lap 10 or so caution.
Right. I think you're right. Yep.
So just ahead of that 2 truck is Tanner Gray. Talked about his day starting in the back and getting off sequence and finding his way in the lead. But darn it, he had about a 2-second lead. The caution came out.
I still love this strategy, and he had it perfectly figured out. A 2-second lead, like you said, Jamie. He was 22nd on that 10-lap caution that came out. When the first caution came out 10 laps into the race, they chose to pit, gave up their first stage points, and then stayed out and cycled themselves ahead, right? Connor Mazak did the same thing in 3rd place. It was working perfectly until the caution came out. Now he's got fast trucks with newer tires behind him. It's going to be a little tougher to win the stage, but I'm pretty certain he still can be ahead of 22nd, right? I think that's kind of the benchmark. If that's where you were when you pitted, I think by the end of the stage, if you're anywhere in the top 10 to 15, you got to count that strategy as a win.
Yeah, I like that lap since last pit. Exactly what Joey's talking about. Tanner Gray last pitted on lap 39. Sanchez just behind him. Newer tires. Lap 13, he came down. Stay with us. It's the Toyota 200. Tonight, it's baseball night in America on Fox as the Cardinals take on Bryce Harper and the NL East leading Phillies. Or it's the Reds as they battle the Cubs or Angels Mariners. It all begins at 7 Eastern on Fox. Check for the game in your area. So welcome back. 52 laps in, 108 laps to go here at St. Louis. Tanner Gray out front, Nick Sanchez behind him, Connor Mozak, Ben Rhodes, and Ty Majeski, your top 5. Ty Majeski been the best truck today, 35 laps led.
He put 4 tires on, so lost a little bit of the track position. But as Joey said, he restarted back in the 5th row, and he's already back up to the 5th spot. So he will get at least a couple more trucks, I would think, by the end of this stage. He could even be battling for the lead.
He definitely could be. You know, he's got the tire advantage. You know, some of the trucks in front of him have 2 tires on it. Some have no tires. He's definitely and has the fastest truck. It's important for him not to wreck his truck in this moment. Just keep it around. It's so fast. Just a couple base hit restarts. Nothing crazy.
He doesn't need extra bases?
Yeah, don't need to go for the home run into turn 1. Just a couple base hits, keep it alive, and then be able to pounce on him late in the race. Got to keep a truck to race with at the end.
So he's going to start outside row number 3. Sanchez and Tanner Gray will be on the front row for this restart, and that's maybe Heim time. He's back in row number 5.
That's a cool jersey.
It is.
People getting accustomed to seeing him. Gets out of his truck, points to his watch. It's Heim time. But we haven't seen Heim time shine just yet. He's kind of fallen back a little bit. Back in the 10th spot for that 11 truck. Well, the 88 has had a day. Let's listen in.
There's no voltage strikes. It doesn't look like a problem on our end. Possibly a crank trigger sensor. If that's the case, we have to go behind the wall, inject right instead of it. Take many, many laps.
10-4. Yeah, it's just like it just shuts off like you just hit the ignition.
Yeah, it sounds like it's not something that they can fix on pit road.
And you wonder how quick the shutoff is. Is it like something that just shuts off and comes right back on, or is it off for a while? If that's the case, you're scared to even follow that truck because it's just going to be like he's on the brakes in the middle of the straightaway.
And early on, it sounded like that he would have to cycle the ignition switch,
right.
So that's at least going to take a little bit of time.
All right. Another restart coming. Tanner Gray on those older tires. Nick Sanchez next to him on the newer tires. Mixed strategy here. Who will prevail? Side by side they go into turn 1. Great restart on those older tires. As they fan out behind him, they keep it in line, and he hangs on to it now.
This is going to be a great test to see what 2 tires does versus 4 tires once Majeski gets there. Right now, we have 2 tires versus no tires, and it looks like Tanner Gray's holding his own.
And that's Majeski.
Ben Rhodes, 3 wide.
Sorry.
Hello, joining the party. He wants to get a piece of this.
I mean, there was barely a gap there. He just threw her in there. Huge move to get the lead.
Welcome, Ben Rhodes. He takes the lead and leads it for the first time today.
Sanchez moved to the inside to stay away from Tanner Gray, and he opened up the middle, and Ben took it.
That's a gutsy move to take the center. Yeah, 3 wide bottom is what I thought was about to happen there, and I think Sanchez was trying to defend that to make sure it didn't happen, and took the move. See, Sanchez defending it again.
Defending, blocking the 98 Majeski from getting a run on him. Christian Eckes coming back into the fold. Haven't talked much about Christian since the start of the race.
Great battle right now. Majeski. Is Eckes going to pull out? No, he's going to help Majeski try to get by the 15 of Tanner Gray. Majeski's able to clear Tanner Gray to move up to 3rd.
Interesting decision there for Eckes. He could have made that move and got underneath Majeski for sure, but just chose to push there.
It's been interesting with our leader, Ben Rhodes. Just a few races ago at Darlington, in fact, they decided to make a crew chief swap between him and his teammate, Jake Garcia. So Doug Randolph calling the shots, and they've had 2 top 5s. They're only top 5s of the season in the last 3 races. It's working out so far.
As we watch another 3 wide battle, Brett Holmes, the 32, made it 3 wide on the inside, and these are the first laps that Ben Rhodes has led since Daytona.
That's hard to believe.
Our reigning champion.
He sniffed it and he went for it. He was aggressive on that restart.
Joey, we saw that huge block by Sanchez. Has the blocking got out of hand, or is it just the competition so close that you feel like, you know, somebody gets a little momentum because maybe you lost a little momentum trying to get by somebody. And
yeah, I mean, you know, in the past, those blocks, I can speak from experience, would get Tony Stewart really mad at you. But today's day and age racing, that is very accepted. It is what it is. Those blocks happen. Now, sometimes it comes with the bumper, right? If you're going to be willing to block that much, you probably got to be willing to take a hit at some point. But it's a lot more accepted in our sport now, and it's almost a necessity, right? Like, you can't afford to give up these spots. These races are so short. The stages that are now in play, the points that are there, you can't give up a spot and think, oh, I'll get it later in the race, it'll be okay. Now you're giving up, spots on the racetrack, but also points that are going to be paid out here in 11 laps.
Guys, there is racing all over the place. 45, Connor Mozak, looked like he was slowing for just a moment, but looks to be fine. Leaning on each other, 3 wide again.
Well, I think Grant Enfinger realized he had a bad angle in the corner, so he backed off to keep from driving it in beside the 77 of Chase Purdy and able to make the pass when we got down to the straightaway. Good move by a veteran driver, Grant Enfinger.
Absolutely. He did it just enough to where they would wiggle up the racetrack and get some air on the nose, and that helped him kind of wrap the corner better to be able to be there on the exit.
That's back there, 7th to 10th spots. See Raja Karuth in the 71 and 11th. Ty Dillon in the 25 doing a nice job.
Yeah, that team's just getting stronger and stronger. Shane Wilson over there calling the shots. Get some good people in there.
Rackley War Racing, they're from Tennessee. That's our next race. We're taking a few weeks off, so there is a break, which will be huge for the winner today, right? You're only as good as your last race. He's going to be good for a month, but they'll be going back to Tennessee racing there. So cool for that team, especially if they can finish with the top 10 today with Ty Dillon.
It's a battle for 5th place. Corey Heim with Tanner Gray. You know, we talked about Heim maybe not having the fastest truck, or maybe the truck that we're used to seeing him have, but able to still call into the top 5 here towards the end of the second stage.
Remember, Scott Cipodelli has only had one chance to work on that trip, too. We're going to give him another chance, possibly at the end of the stage if he chooses to come in. Again, the strategy could be all over the board as we see Majeski going after Sanchez in a battle for second.
He's going after his teammate who's leading the race. Thor Sport teammates there, and thought he had it. Nick Sanchez not giving up on the outside as the laps tick down. About 7.5 to go.
He's definitely going to be on kill mode right now, trying to get Ben Rhodes. He wants that stage win. Yeah, those playoff points, man, just in 4 or 5 races from now, they're going to be worth a lot. And he sees that right in front of him, knows he has a fast truck. The battle is heating up.
Don't forget, it's the Triple Truck Challenge. So whatever driver wins today will pick up $50,000, unless, of course, you're Nick Sanchez in the 2 and you get $100,000 because he won last week.
That's a little extra motivation.
Yeah, huge bonus. I still like the strategy, excuse me, Jamie, by Tanner Gray. Right now holding down the 6th spot with only 6 laps to go in the stage. I have to believe maybe he loses another position or so, but I think he's still going to get stage points.
Yeah, still a great strategy, but this is a gaggle of cars right here.
Back 15th, 16th, 17th right here.
Here's Daniel Dye, the race to stop suicide on board. Connor Mozak, remember the same strategy as Tanner Gray. No tires since lap 10 or 11, something like that. Here comes Grant Enfinger, going to try to grab that spot from Tanner Gray. It's one thing to catch him, but it's another thing to pass him here with only 5 to go in this stage.
And no one's going to let you go at all. And this battle's not, no one's going to let they may be teammates, but I don't know if that matters a whole bunch right now.
Battle for the lead right here. Ty Majeski's led the most laps today. He wants to take it, and he does.
I think that's a bit of a statement, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And Ben Rhodes knows Ty's really fast today. He falls into second as quickly as possible to keep trying to play defense on Christian Eckes. He knows he's fast as well. Don't lose 2 spots. You're not going to be able to keep Majeski behind you. Try to still get the most you possibly can at the end of the stage.
Leaves the bottom open for Eckes. Eckes is going to stick the nose in there. Let's see if he can hold that momentum up off the corner. He is side by side with Ben Rhodes.
And I would expect Ben to race a little bit harder this time. Maybe not. Never mind.
Raja Karuth, Ty Dillon continue to battle. That's for 10th. They want that one stage point that's out there at the end of this stage.
Boy, they are tight on each other right here. What's Roger going to do? He's going to shove him down in there?
I was hoping he would back off and let him get down in the corner.
Ty Majeski just lights out up front, trying to win the second stage here today. Finally has his engineer. They had hired him, a young man who was still in college. He had been to a couple races, but now as of Monday, he's moving to Sandusky, Ohio to work at ThorSport here at the racetrack. So that's got to be helpful for them. Although I know Ty likes to engineer as well.
Yeah. Well, he had exams and graduation and stuff like that. So
you kids in college, if you're looking for an engineering job, I'll tell you, racing is where it's at right now. There's just, everybody needs one, and there's just not enough of them.
There really isn't.
We like talking about how fast Ty Majeski is, but Christian Eckes is holding with him all the way through the field. They kind of followed each other through the field since the restart, as they have 4 tires on their trucks. And I don't see anyone pulling away right now. This could be a great battle to the end of the race.
It was fun to watch them in practice yesterday. They were the 2 standout trucks, and they ended up securing the front row once again, just like last year, as Christian Eckes is breathing down Majeski's neck on the final lap of stage number 2.
I know Ben Rose does not want to give that spot up to Sanchez, but Sanchez has it.
Ty Majeski won stage number 1, and he's going to win stage number 2 for his 5th stage win of 2024. Fourth time Ty Majeski has swept stages 1 and 2. He won 1 of those races. Wonder if he could do it today. He's led 40 laps and counting. Stage number 3 when we come back.
Welcome back to Craftsman Truck Series action here at Gateway Speedway. Trucks getting ready to hit pit road right now as we have ended stage 2, and the intensity is going to pick up. We are up on top of the pit box right now with crew chief Charles DeNike. In just a moment, he's going to call his driver Christian Eckes into the pits, and the Trackhouse team that pits this truck will go to work. As you see, they are coming around the corner. This is where the crew chief now gets into position, counts his driver into the stall. He already told Christian Eckes to stop just a little bit short. You see he's way to the right side of the box. He's trying to angle out to be able to get around the number 32 of Brett Holmes, who will be coming in here in just a moment. So far, things looking pretty decent on this stop. Michael, what do you got down there on your end of pit road?
Well, Jeremy Donnelly just advised Gray that he had to come around Grant Enfinger to get into his box. But because of how he qualified at Charlotte, he has the first pit box. No problem exiting here. The truck is tight. He said it was chattering the front tires, so they're going to do an air pressure adjustment, wedge, and this truck has been right. The strategy that Jeremy's used today has been perfect. He led this race. A caution came out. They only lost 4 or 5 spots, and here he is with a really great spot. He's off pit road. Jamie?
Loved your guys' vantage points there. Look at Tyler Ankrum with 2 tires, moves up 11 spots with Daniel Dye behind him. Let's go back and hear from Christian Eckes, his crew chief. Regan?
Well, that's right, Jamie. Charles DeNike looked like a little bit of trouble on the left front there towards the end of the pit stop. Cost you some time. How are you going to make up those spots now?
Yeah, that wasn't so good, Regan, unfortunately. Looked like we got the track bar wrench, got a little jammed in there, and then we got a little fumbled on the left front. So truck's good, though. So we'll get it freed up a little bit here, and I think we'll be fine. We'll go on and work on passing these other guys and get back to the front.
All right, good luck coming back through the field. Michael?
Regan, I am pumped up. I feel like I changed the tires. That is so fun. I saw you get a spot up on the wall, Jeremy. How did you think the stop went? And you've got a really fast truck.
Definitely have a fast truck. Tanner did a really good job there. We kind of put him in a box, starting from the back. But the strategy guys were with us a little bit. We were able to flip it there on that lap 10 caution, put 4 tires on it. He drove up to, I think, 15th. And then we flipped it. Got good restart there, starting on the front row. Pulled away a little bit. Kind of wish the caution wouldn't happen because we had a pretty good gap. But to get 4 stage points like that from starting in the back, the strategy workout. Now everybody's back on an even playing field. Definitely got a really good Dead On Tools Toyota 100 TRD Pro. I appreciate everybody and all their hard work.
Thank you very much. They flipped it there, Joey. What's that mean?
Well, the tires are still on the ground, so they flipped it in a good way, meaning they pitted when other cars didn't, and then stayed out when other cars pitted.
Pit crews got to work. We will drop the green flag for stage number 3 after this. Stay with us live from St. Louis. Welcome back to the Toyota 200, Stage 1. Stage 2 in the books as we get ready for the third stage of the day. We look at the stage points overall, and Ty Majeski maximizing it with those 2 wins.
Yeah, we talked earlier about, how to really make a move in the points is to have a 50, 55, 60-point day. Ty Majeski right now could possibly have a 60-point day if he can hold on and win this thing.
He's on a run to a perfect day, and there's a lot of points scored. You see Christian Eckes, that's second in both stages. Dick Sanchez, solid in both stages as well.
Aww.
They're all good, and I think got a little love here.
I love that.
I think that guy's sleeping on the side, but I appreciate it.
Jamie's over here. She's got her phone out taking a picture of the monitor.
Why are you ratting me out, Joey?
Oh, I thought it was great. My signs don't usually say they love me. I would take a picture of mine too, Jamie.
Hey, we love you so much we made you try a black licorice during break. We should have had that on camera.
Yeah, yucky.
Didn't like it, did you?
Yeah, that was not nice.
All right, so our first 2 trucks, Tyler Ankrum, Daniel Dye, took right sides only, so they're restarting first and second. Corey Heim, great stop. The biggest loser there was Christian Eckes back in 11th. As green flag comes out, once again, 84 laps to go from St. Louis. Corey Heim looking to lead for the first time today, and he does it. The 11 truck to the point.
I think that was made by the 43 of Daniel Dye taking the outside second row. He gave up a row to stay on the outside. That opened up the bottom for the 11 of Corey Heim.
Yeah, pretty interesting move for that. I think if I can get the front row at any point, you got to take the front row.
Still there, 98's lined up with him.
Here comes Majeski, fastest truck all day. He's got his teammate Ben Rhodes right behind him. Majeski into third.
Gonna get the twofer there.
Ben Rhodes got a little bit loose. Maybe made some contact with Daniel Dye in a 43. Majeski is on the move.
It's a reminder about what happened to Corey Heim last week. I mean, this team is fast every week. 3-time winner, but last week at the end we saw 3 loose lug nuts. They were disqualified. All but 1 point. 1 point given to show that they showed up, and that's basically it. So they want a little redemption.
Yeah, and those pit crews, really all of Tricon's pit crews are really, really solid usually week in, week out. That was just an anomaly. They're normally really, really strong.
Well, something they should be proud of. The only reason why that truck is in the lead right now is because of that good pit stop. We've noticed that Corey Heim's truck today, maybe not the best out there, but he is in the lead because of execution on pit road.
Clean air is king. Suddenly your truck feels great, right, Joey?
Absolutely, and I'm sure they tuned it up a little bit too.
Saw Eckes make the move and grab another position. He restarted 11th after his troubles on pit road that we documented.
Tyler Ankrum back there in second, San Bernardino, California. Be good to get a good run after finishing 32nd a week ago. Let's get an update. Regan.
Well, Jamie, just to update a story from earlier in the race, the 99 of Ben Rhodes having those shifter troubles. I just checked with crew chief Doug Randolph. He said since the problems earlier, he has not said another word about the shifter issues, so evidently it fixed itself. That's good news for Ben Rhodes.
It either fixed itself or he don't want to talk about it anymore. So you're not going to fix it. It is what it is.
Nice push by Rajah Caruth on Grant Endenberger to move him by Tanner Gray, or try to get by Tanner Gray. Didn't quite clear him. Tanner's going to be able to stick with the right rear quarter panel of Enfinger.
And this is the first time Tanner Gray's been on same tires as everybody since lap 10. So he gets to really get to see, what does my truck really have in it? Where are my weaknesses compared to the competitors?
He's flexed some muscle. Started last for an unapproved adjustment. Worked his way forward. Led laps today, 17 in total. And now you said they're on the strategy with everyone else now. Let's see what they've got. Currently running 8th.
Remember, comes in here 34 points above that cut line after some solid finishes lately.
And now the battle's on. Ty Majeski, we have noted that he is the fastest truck. The other truck that seemed to be really fast, Christian Eckes, had a bad pit stop. He's back to 7th. Well, let's see if Ty can reel in Corey Heim right now. Maybe Heim with that clean air and some adjustments can hang on.
2 tits quicker that last lap from Majeski, then Corey Heim.
And as as Ty gets closer to Corey, he's going to get more turbulent air, right? That dirty air will start affecting his truck more and more. But what I've seen so good about Ty's truck is just able to wrap the bottom so low and tight on that white line that I haven't seen other trucks be able to do that yet. And that ability to do that is what's going to be able to help him draw up to the back bumper of Corey.
I'm impressed with Daniel Dye running 5th right now. He had that speeding penalty earlier, had to overcome that. 4 top 10s for him in his sophomore season. Really nice work for that 43 team.
Good battle here. Christian Eckes trying to move to the inside of the 99 of Ben Rhodes. That's a battle for the 6th spot. Eckes trying to overcome that pit stop we were talking about. They're moving in on the 43 of Daniel Dye. That's 3rd on back to 7th right there in our screen.
Yeah, he did a good job loosening up Ben Rhodes there, trying to get underneath him and able to drag race him down the front straightaway. He's got to get all these spots all the way up to Sanchez, and they get a caution to try to re-rack it, get down pit road again, and have a restart.
That battle continues. Ben Rhodes, Christian Eckes. We're going to step aside. You won't miss a thing as we go side by side. .71 laps to go as Corey Heim continues to lead here at St. Louis. About a second lead over Ty Majeski in the 98, Nick Sanchez, Tyler Ankrum, and Ben Rhodes, top 5. We had a couple trucks that had issues. Taylor Gray in the 17 came down pit road from the 12th spot.
Got a little bit of leak somewhere on the inside of the left front tire when you're setting your steel. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's power steering fluid or a little bit of brake fluid weeping out of the left front caliper. And brake issue, losing it.
Yeah, you heard Taylor say he was losing brakes. Tough brake. He's one of those trucks that we felt like was pretty comfortable above the cut line, but this is going to hurt here for sure.
Bailey Curry in the 41 truck was 23rd. He too came down pit road saying it was shutting off. So seeing a range of happenings with these trucks, from mechanical, electrical.
Shifter for Ben Rhodes, but he's overcome that nicely right now, running 4th.
And Matt Kraft, in the day that he's had pit crew members inside his truck on the passenger side twice, trying to fix their issues, and he's up to 15th, so keep on digging.
He spent more time on pit road today than any other competitor for sure. And as Matt Crafton does, as consistent as he is, back up into the top 15.
Yeah, he's got to keep scratching and clawing. He's outside looking in on the playoffs right now. He scored no stage points because of the issues they had, electrical issues they've had during the day. He has to figure out how to get the best possible finish right now. And he's just scratching and clawing through the field to do that.
As we take a look at our pylon with 67 now laps to go, that means if the caution were to come out now, we would be in our window where everyone would come to pit road probably for the final time. Some people, I don't think that there's enough fall off that people would gamble on maybe saving a tires for late like we saw at Charlotte last week. I don't think the same thing would apply here.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think when you see, trucks that have stayed out and have done pretty well, Tyler Ankrum, Daniel Dye, they're only back to 6th and 7th. Those cars, those trucks have, quite a bit more laps on their tires. We've seen trucks do 2 tires and be able to hang pretty well. I think you get in your window, you pit, and you call it done. Corey Heim, another example, may have the same tires as everybody, but wasn't really even spoken about until you got clean air on that truck. It shows what track position means.
Well, we have 2 first-timers making their Truck Series debuts. Andres Perez right there in the 7 truck doing a nice job. The Holy Guacamole truck in 17th. He's the point leader in the ARCA Menards Series. Knocking on the door of that first win. Hasn't gotten it done yet, but I have a feeling, Phil, it could happen this year.
Yeah, it's going to happen this year for sure. We're going to get away from some of the super speedway intermediates, and we're going to get to some short tracks, and better keep an eye on him in the ARCA Menards Series.
And the other one is Luke Fenhouse in the 66. Nice recovery for him. Spun early in this race, brought out the first caution. He's been able to plug away, making his debut. Won the ARCA Menards Series race last year in Iowa. He's not doing any of that this year. He's hoping to move up to trucks full time. He has one other race scheduled.
Yeah, doing a nice job now up into the top 20. This is probably the highest finishing position or running position he's had this entire race, as we see a good battle between the 43 of Daniel Dye and the 18 of Tyler Ankrum. That's a battle for 6th.
Saw the 9 of Grant Enfinger lurking back there, last year's winner. He was lurking with 5 laps to go when we saw Ty Majeski go around with Zane Smith at the time, and he just cruised on by for that big win.
Yeah, Daniel comfortably has that spot. Remember Ankrum, a little bit of pit strategy, only 2 tires on his last stop, but Daniel Dye was in the same boat. Those were the 2 drivers that only took 2 tires on that pit stop, and now they've swapped spots.
You see those onboard cameras. You see the trip presented by CRAFTSMAN. We've talked about that. It's a triple truck challenge. Started last weekend at Charlotte. Nick Sanchez got that win, $50,000. He can win $100,000 additional dollars by winning here today, or anybody else that wins will get 50 grand. And then we go on to our 3rd and final race in the triple truck challenge in 3 weeks.
This is year number 6 of the triple truck challenge. That means we've had 16 previous races, 3 a year for 5 years, and 1 last week at Charlotte. And there's only been 1 driver that's ever won more than 1 of those races since we've been doing it.
Wow.
Who?
Sheldon Creed. And he won 3 of them. He won that extra bonus one year. He won 2 of the 3, got that $150,000, and one of the other years he got $50,000 for winning a race. But he's the only repeat winner we've ever had in the challenge.
You do your homework, don't you?
I do.
Sheldon was a wheelman in the Truck Series, a champion, race winner here, running Xfinity full time now.
And he's had about 37 second place finishes in Xfinity, something like that. Knocking on the door of that first win one of these days.
Enfinger looking to the inside, trying to take over that spot. Doesn't get it done there from Ankrum. Corey Heim continues to lead about a 2.5 seconds over Ty Majeski. Nick Sanchez sitting back there in 3rd.
You see Raja do a good job being able to run that second lane. We talked about when is that second lane going to come in. This is the longest run we've had there. And Raja almost got to the outside of Grant Enfinger there. So really showing that that upper lane in 3 and 4 is available.
So we had fun on the first round of pit stops. We did an old-fashioned crank it up. Let's just do the traditional crank it up on the racetrack.
24 green on your tires here. 25, even up back.
.58 laps to go here at St. Louis. We've had 4 cautions today for 24 laps. I don't want to say it now, but I don't think we're going to hit that average 10.5 cautions that we typically get here.
Whoa,
Did I just jinx that?
Yeah, it sounded like it.
It would be a lot in a little bit of time.
It would.
Get that many cautions.
So Corey Heim leading for the first time today, and he continues 26 laps and counting. Ty Majeski behind him by a 1.5 seconds, and Nick Sanchez hanging there in third.
Remember, Ty Majeski moved to within about a 0.5 seconds of Corey Heim after the restart once he got into second. And then now Heim has actually backed up, opened it up a little bit to about a second. Almost a 1.6 seconds right now. But Sanchez doing a nice job there. There's Ben Rose. He's doing an awesome job. Remember, talked about having transmission issues, but still holding down the 4th spot.
And then behind that, you have Christian Eckes. You know, we talked about how fast his truck is. Had a bad pit stop, trouble on the left front tire, trying to put it on, trouble with the wedge wrench, it sounded like as well. He's trying to scratch and claw. He's got his way back to 5th. He's hoping for a caution right now.
And Daniel Dye overcoming that speeding penalty earlier. He's running top 5, running in the 6th spot right now, looking for his 5th top 10 of the season. Tyler Ankrum in the 18, looking for a little rebound after a tough race a week ago. New team this year. They hit the ground running, clicking off top 10s and top 5s. Had some rough patches there, but rebounding nicely, having a good race today.
Yeah, Grant Enfinger really has turned this season around with a couple top 3 finishes over the last 3 weeks, and really doing a nice job. Got himself above the cut line. He's below the cut line for much of the year. Right now trying to figure out a way to get by that 18 of Ankrum. Got the 71 of Raja Caruth right now holding down the 9th spot. Raja won early. We talked about it in Las Vegas. Locked himself in the playoffs. Really started out great. 4 top 10s to start the season. Been a bit of a dry spell here lately, but he has speed. He was going to finish in a top 5 at Charlotte last week, and the caution came out late. He decided not to come pit road and end up getting passed by a bunch of trucks. That was not the right call.
Yeah, Stuart Friesen, you know, just uneventful day so far. Just kind of going through it, riding in the top 10 right now. Nothing crazy. Sometimes those uneventful days are okay. You'd like to be a little faster and be in the picture a little bit more, but on days like today, when you're Stuart Friesen, just take everything you can get, right? If you can get some stage points, great. If you can finish in the top 5 with the 10th place truck, you know, try to accomplish that. I think that's what he's scratching and clawing to do.
Well, Jimmy Villeneuve is crew chief, and Stuart Strand putting together their best 2 races of the season. A 10th place two races ago, and last week 2nd for them. So had some momentum coming in here, and like you said, Joey, if they could just have a solid day, bring home another top 10, they're going in the right direction for that team.
Yeah, we talked, documented the fact that Tanner Gray started at the back due to unapproved adjustments. A little bit of a pit strategy, stopped on lap number 10, stayed out at the end of the first stage, got some stage points, still just outside the top 10 right now.
Yeah, I really thought his truck would have hung in there a little bit better. As good as he was on old tires, I thought, you know, I think he restarted 6th or 7th, that he would be able to compete in that area. He's lost a little bit of handle maybe on that truck and fell outside of the top 10. And right here we see Raja Caruth. I told you that outside lane there in 3 and 4. She's coming alive, and he's been playing with it for a few laps. And there he goes to the outside of Grant Enfinger. Almost. I think he'll probably clear him off of 2.
That
maybe.
Raja up to the 8th spot. And I tell you, Ankrum has held on pretty well with those 2 tires. Both he and Daniel Dye were outside the top 10 on that last pit stop. Both took 2 tires, started up front, both running right now up in the top 10.
Look at Raja on the move.
Yeah, that strategy definitely, all the other crew chiefs are watching that, and they're going to have a lot more laps on their tires after this run, so it's going to be a little bit more challenging to make that call, but it is a call that I would definitely think about, you know, especially if you're running in the back half of the top 5 to 10. I would be thinking about throwing 2 tires out when you see what Akram's able to do right now. And yeah, you might not win the race with that call, but you give yourself a chance for sure.
And we've already run longer on this run since the end of the stage 2 than the stage was, than stage 1 or stage 2, as we're approaching now running close to 40 laps in this 3rd stage since we pitted.
You see Raja, he ran that high side again. That straightaway speed he gets from running that high side. He had the long straightaway to get the reward from running the top, right? You get a little longer radius, that hurts you a little bit, but that long straightaway that you get that momentum, you get all that back.
You see right there, laps since last pit, 39 laps, everybody on the same strategy all the way to the bottom of that pylon.
Yeah, the only differing strategy was what we talked about with the 18 of Ankrum, the 43 of Daniel Dye, 2 tires. Does that mean that they're going to have to take 4 on their next pit stop because they will have so many laps on their lefts? And the guys that pitted before that took 4 tires, like Corey Heim and Ty Majeski, is that going to open them up possibly to do 2 tires? I think the pace that we've seen out of Ankrum and Daniel Dye makes me think that maybe 2 tires might be a great option even for those trucks running right up front right now.
We'll have to wait to find out. I'd like to know too.
Not easy being a crew chief.
This is a tough call for sure for the whole field to make this next pit stop. You know, and they have to pit. They can't make it from here, so they're going to have to pit at some point. And I think Regan probably can help us a little bit on strategy.
Regan.
Well, Jamie, just to give an update, that's right. They do have to pit at some point. A lot of teams didn't anticipate green flag stops today, but if it does happen, look for these teams somewhere around lap 133 to 140 to have to pit road right about then.
Green flag pit stops here. That's interesting. A good point, Regan. I mean, we've had so many cautions in the past. That hasn't been a thing. So Corey Heim continues to lead here with 46 laps remaining. They waited out the rain and the weather, but the kids are having a good time. Hang with us for the Toyota 200 as we continue. Our leader, Corey Heim, on pit road. Regan Smith was mentioning we would see some green flag stops, and Corey Heim.
I think you heard Regan.
This is a gutsy call, guys. I mean, this is the fastest way to split this run. And he's going to draw Ty Majeski as well. If he doesn't pit here, he's going to lose the track position on the racetrack. So it's a gutsy move because if the caution comes out, they're in trouble. But if it goes green, this will be the move that wins the race.
Yeah, that's going to bring a flood of people down pit road, I would think. See, Nick Sanchez will inherit the lead.
He stays on the racetrack, as you see on the left side.
And I think someone might go long here. You know, if you have that much, you know, I think you still can run another 25 laps or so, maybe more. That's a long time to maybe get a caution. And the fall off isn't real big. And we noted Nick Sanchez, I'd go for the win if I was him. He's got a little extra money on the line.
You see, obviously, Majeski on pit road when Nick Sanchez comes by, that means that he will be a lap down.
See adjustments for Ben Rhodes.
If one of the good trucks like Nick Sanchez runs long like this and the caution were to come out, that'll catch a bunch of these trucks a lap. Everybody that comes to pit road now will be caught a lap down. Now, they would be able to take the wave around, but they would lose track position.
Exactly.
Regan, what'd you hear when they decided to pit there under green?
Well, Jamie, it was pretty wild down here on pit road. As soon as the 11 truck hit pit road, seemingly maybe caught some guys off guard. Immediately, a number of these teams up and down pit road, the crew members put the helmets on. They jumped up, got on the ready. They are all standing here waiting for their truck to get called in. Michael.
Yeah, Regan, you're exactly right. Joe Shearer Jr. said, I'm going to pit at lap 135. And as soon as Heim hit the pit road, he said, come in next time by. That's how important getting those fresh tires is early. And now you just hope there's not a caution before everybody else pits.
Yeah, and what happened there is Ty Majeski was, I can't afford to lose touch of Corey Heim. If you let him run a couple laps at a time, it's gonna just, you're not gonna catch him and it's gonna be over. So you gotta react immediately. You do not have time to waste because you're gonna lose too much time on the racetrack.
Green flag pit stops continuing as Tyler Ankrum is in. Nick Sanchez stays out on the racetrack.
So at this point, you got to assume that Sanchez is on the long run strategy here. He's going to try to run it to where he's almost out of gas, I think, and pray for caution, right? Like,
yeah.
Hope there's a caution, and he's going to cycle himself up there and have newer tires. That's the other piece too, right? If he runs 20 laps and the caution comes out, and those other guys are down a lap, they're going to have to wave around on those old tires, while Sanchez will have new tires and possibly get them that way.
Look at the top left of our screen. You see the 2 and the 11. Those are little chicklets there. That's where they are. Obviously, Sanchez the leader. The 11, Corey Heim, a lap down, and the 98 of Majeski behind Corey Heim. When everybody cycles around, if they all make green flag pit stops before the caution comes out, then that's going to be the battle for the lead as we watch Christian Eckes make his 4-tire change.
And I think in this strategy, you got to do the extremes. And Christian Eckes, they kind of went down the middle. You know, I think you either short pit it or you go really, really long. And I don't know. I'm sure there's more to the story, but why Christian Eckes only ran 5 or 6 laps longer than the guys that pitted.
I like this strategy by Sanchez. Run long here. And you catch those other 2 trucks, Corey Heim, the best 2 trucks, and Majeski. You catch them a lap down, you'll be able to pit if the caution comes out and get track position over them and have a bunch of trucks in between.
I definitely would not pit if I'm Sanchez until they get their lap back, until they come around and pass them to get their lap back.
Yeah, but then it does no good.
As long as
then it does no good to stay on the racetrack.
Exactly.
Corey Heim back in 13th right now. Ty Majeski in 15th. A lap down, as you guys have been saying. So Nick Sanchez over Tanner Gray, Chase Purdy, Dean Thompson, and Stuart Friesen. Your top 5 with 36 laps to go. See that pit road performance, the comparison, all the green for Corey Heim.
Remember I mentioned earlier that Tricon guys, week in, week out, always have great pit stops. They're among, I think we've got 3 of the top 5 on average pit stops, all come from Tricon Garage. That 11 truck is one of those with Corey Heim. Huge pit stop there for them.
And they want to make up for what happened last week, right? You cost your team a lot of points. And when you go to the next race, how do you make them up, right? Put your team and your truck in the catbird position is exactly where they're at.
See laps since last pit. The top 9 have stayed out.
I think about 10 more laps would be realistic. About 63 laps, all green flag laps probably would be realistic for these drivers to stay out. Now there's Corey Heim. Once he passes Nick Sanchez, I'm like you, Joey. If I'm Nick Sanchez, I come that next lap.
Exactly is what I would do for sure. He's losing a second a lap or so, and you see Sanchez looks like he's going to pit road.
Nick Sanchez coming down pit road to make that change.
Yeah, we didn't talk about how hard it is to get on the pit road here. Yeah, access road, there's no pit road speed, and they don't really practice that to know how fast to go there. That's challenging to figure out how to maximize that on and off pit road on those access roads.
That will put Corey Heim back on the lead lap, along with several other trucks.
Heim up to 10th, Ty Majeski in the 11th position.
Both of those trucks now back on the lead lap, as well as Ben Rhodes, Eckes behind them.
Quite a few trucks still need to make their pit stop. This mixes it up quite a bit, a lot to pay attention to.
For sure, and for Sanchez, he's going to pay the price for that, right? That's going to hurt him. Got a little bit of smoke here, maybe from locking it up.
Here, guys. So.
Possibly an engine issue. I'm sure the officials will be checking the racetrack extremely closely to make sure there's no fluid down on the racetrack.
So what I was saying is that the two of Sanchez, while he was out there gambling in a way, right, hoping for a caution, he is losing about a second, maybe a little less than that, but about a second a lap to Heim. So now he's going to be way behind him. He may be a little bit faster than Heim now because he's got newer tires to make up some of that difference. But that was the gamble they were willing to take. Oh,
trouble.
Pit stops
caution. Continue. There's the caution. Vicente Salas into the wall. The caution comes out for the 5th time. Tanner Gray on pit road.
If I'm Tanner Gray, I just roll down pit road. Don't bother stopping in my pit.
You just got loose underneath the 88 there, off 2.
Chase Purdy shown as the leader right now. Luke Fenhouse just behind him. Let's see what happened.
See him on the inside of Matt Crafton. Just right in front of Corey Heim. Look at the job Corey Heim does to avoid him.
Oh, this ought to be good. Let's ride on board with Corey Heim. Looking to the inside and then whoop.
Corey thought for a moment about going to the inside. Then he said, well, the 91's going that direction. Let me shift gears and go to the outside. Great job by Corey Heim.
Sat and watched it. And I think what those two drivers in front of him knew is that's going to be the eventual leader. This is I have to stay on the lead lap. I got to stay in front of the 11 of Corey Heim. And raced a little bit too hard, got a little free.
Who does this benefit the most? Nick Sanchez, maybe?
Well, everybody behind Corey Heim, because that's going to allow them to catch up. And some of the teams that didn't come to pit road, Luke Fenhouse, for one, right now is being shown in the 2nd position.
Yeah, and you look at, Purdy, those guys, Crafton, he's running 3rd right now. And he's going to have some newer tires. I'm sure they trapped a few cars down a lap. There's only 12 on the lead lap.
Looks like Daniel Dye possibly will get the free pass. He's the first truck right now being shown 1 lap down, but Raja is going to be caught a lap down.
And we talked about Matt Crafton, needing points. He was, back up to 15th or so. We saw him come by here with another issue at one point where it shut off. He lost a bunch of spots again. And now they've gambled, rolled the dice a little bit, got the caution. They're going to cycle themselves back up into the top 10.
Pit crews ready for those that haven't pitted yet, including our leader, Chase Purdy. Pit road is closed right now as we take a look at the playoff leaderboard. We showed you earlier those 4 in yellow, they're locked in. Right now, the leader, Chase Purdy, in 5th.
Yeah, this is as they run right now. Grant Enfinger was above the cut line coming into this race. Right now being shown below the cut line. Grant Enfinger is one of the trucks right now being shown 1 lap down. We know that, at least we feel like, that Corey Heim is going to stay on the racetrack. So everybody that's lined up in front of Corey Heim could be eligible for the free pass, even if they've already pitted. He can get the free pass and join the field at the tail end.
I hope everyone's able to follow what we're trying to explain. It's a lot to try to explain when the strategy gets mixed up like this, but it's also a lot of fun to see all this happen. And after this pit stop, all the strategy is over. The position you're in is where you're at. You're going to have 25-ish laps to go, and it's just going to be chaos from there.
And then the battle between Corey Heim and Ty Majeski is going to heat up. Back in 4th and 5th. Well, next week, it doesn't get any better than Super Saturday on Fox. First, it's Phillies Mets from London, followed by the Belmont Stakes, live from Saratoga. And in prime time, it's Dodgers versus the Yankees. That's all on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Exciting day. I know a lot of eyes will be on Belmont Stakes for a little horse racing. We'll be racing out in wine country in Sonoma. Check out Fox, FS1. We'll have you covered.
Horses and horsepower.
I like it. I just love how many fans are here considering the rain delay that we had. They all had to leave the grandstands or duck for cover, and they all came back to enjoy the racing action today. Yeah, nice looking crowd.
Good turnout. Pit road is open. You see Chase Purdy, our leader, will lead the bunch to pit road that has not pitted yet. Luke Fenhouse, the 66, is right behind him.
You know, he can close that gap up, and they're not. It's kind of an interesting to look at there. I'm pretty sure you can do that.
See, Daniel,
you want to look at the rules tomorrow, make sure I can.
Matt Crafton coming in as well. The issues that he's had comes in from the 3rd spot.
Daniel Dye indeed was the free pass.
You see Tanner Gray, he rolled down pit road. He was on pit road when the caution came out. He chose not to pit to keep that track position. Now he's going to pit this time.
So 27 laps to go. Under caution for the 5th time. The battle is going to heat up between Corey Heim in the 11 and Ty Majeski. When we come back, it is on. The race for the finish here at St. Louis. Who will it be? He's been flawless. It's Heim time at Circuit of the Americas as Corey Heim gets it done.
He has no weaknesses. Impressive this kid is. Hits him right between the eyes and gets his 2nd win of the year. I think you know what time it is. It's Heim time. It's Heim time. Check your watch. It's Heim time. 3rd win of the year for Corey Heim.
It's been pretty darn good here again today.
All recently, too.
Yeah.
You know, the speed that this truck has had with Scott Zipadelli, I mean, they have really put it out there. And then once again today, showed that they can make their truck better throughout the race. Did a great job on pit road. And now they are in position to win this thing. But I don't think it's going to be that easy for him to win this. When I look at the top.
How about that truck right behind him?
Yeah, I look at Majeski, but I also look at Eckes. He's right there. He showed some speed, and now he's going to have some track position. He's going to be on the 2nd row to restart. Sanchez doesn't seem to be too weak. Ben Rhodes has been okay. I don't know if he's going to be quite the threat.
Majeski's going to take the inside.
don't think
Actually, I think
there.
they haven't given him one to go yet, but I
that
would
was
think
a mock choose.
I would think Majeski is probably going to take the front row. I don't think he would give up a row to go to the outside.
100% taking the front row.
Michael Waltrip on pit road. What are they saying with Corey Heim?
Scott Zipadelli is so confident. He said, I said, is everything normal? And he said, as normal as this job can be. And that means that he feels good about it. He said, Corey's really happy with the truck right now, and they're just going to have to sit here and watch and wait. But he feels really good about where they are.
All right, 40 laps led so far.
I always wonder what a crew chief feels like at this point of the race. Like, okay, our job's done. Strategy's done. Pit stops are done. Okay.
Good luck, driver.
At this point, you just become a race fan and you just watch. You watch and hope things turn out good.
Get a little drink. Get ready to go to battle here.
And as a driver, it's the complete opposite. It's like, all right, all the strategy's done. I'm in position. I got 25 laps to go. It's not going to be an easy battle to the win. It's going to be the longest 25 laps of the race.
Now remember, Corey Heim won this race in 2022. Last year he had an illness, missed this race. Jesse Love got behind the wheel. So it's been a minute since he's been here, but he picked right up where he left off.
Yeah, I think whoever can maybe get the advantage on this restart will be obviously in control of this race. I think this restart is going to be so critical. Here comes the choose. Corey's going to grab the inside. Majeski's going to get the outside that he took early on when he had the lead.
Yeah, interesting. We haven't seen the leader take the bottom yet. This will be the first time we've seen that, so that'll be interesting. I think the push, it might be the most important thing about this is how good of a push can you get. And is Christian Eckes in that bottom row in third? Is he okay with pushing? Or is he going to say, no, I'm going to go 3 wide for the lead? This is an interesting call on the choose here. And I'm looking forward to see how that works. Because you got teammates.
Exactly. Teammates on the outside.
Now, assuming Ben Rhodes can shift well, right? We've got some shifter issues there. That might hurt the outside lane if he can't shift quickly. That's definitely going to hurt the push.
How about Andres Perez?
I was just going to say the same thing.
Going to line up in the 5th spot. What a great job that young man, our ARCA point leader, is doing.
I see
We
you.
see her. She's watching this restart. She knows it's important.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for. Green flag pit stops are in the rear view mirror. Everybody's got their tires, their fuel. And Corey Heim and Ty Majeski ready to do battle on the front row with Ben Rhodes, Christian Eckes behind him. Nose to nose. 23 laps to go at the line. Great restart on the inside for Corey Heim. They're fanning out 3-4 wide behind him. It's a clean restart into turn 1.
Ooh, Corey Heim has him cleared.
Well, it's an interesting restart there because Eckes had the opportunity to go 3 wide to the bottom, chose not to do that.
Majeski closes that gap just a little bit into turn 3. Stuart Friesen back there. Nice battle with Nick Sanchez as he pokes to the inside, trying to pick up that 6th spot.
Friesen is there. He's to the inside of Sanchez. Lane Riggs now is going to jump to the outside. We haven't mentioned Lane's name, but Friesen gets loose. Lane Riggs now going to try to move to the inside and take advantage.
Chase Purdy.
They still were 3 wide in there somewhere.
Holy guacamole.
Hold on to it, Andres. Getting a little sideways.
Ooh, it's going to be tight on the exit here.
That's for 6th, 7th, 8th.
And all this happens because these super long straightaways, he's Chase Purdy getting that run. We talked about that draft when they're 2 wide as they battle for the lead.
Looked like Majeski must have made a dive down to the inside. He got up beside of Corey Heim, but Corey Heim was able to beat him up off the corner.
Ty's been trying to do this into turn 3. Doesn't gain any on Corey Heim.
Corey does a good job at holding that bottom. That's what's doing so good for him, helping hold that lead.
As the leader crosses the line, we've reached our Craftsman. 20 laps to go.
I tell you what I see there is Majeski can drive it into turn 1 so hard. And what he's going to try to do is trying to pack air on the 11. He's trying to take the air off the rear spoiler of his truck, which he's going to do right here. I think he might got physical too.
He did a lot more than take the air off that rear spoiler. He just about knocked the spoiler off that truck.
Little contact between the leaders. Heck of a battle up front.
I think you can hear the tire squeal on Corey Heim's truck.
That's not a comforting feeling at all.
But here comes Eckes. You talked about how strong Eckes might be. He's right up here with the front two.
A lot on the line here. The 11 truck disqualified after last week's race. They lost all those points, lost their position in the regular season points. Now he's trying to fight back. A 3-time winner looking to make it 4. Right behind him, Ty Majeski trying to win for the first time this season. And the 88 of Matt Crafton, his troubles just continue to get worse.
Yeah, what a tough break for Crafton. So desperately needed a good run here, and probably had a pretty decent truck, but he's not going to get the finish.
You see Eckes kind of trying anything. He's moving up the racetrack. He's trying different things. And I really think if you put any of the top 5 trucks right now out front, that truck's going to probably win the race and look really, really good. It is just such a close field right now.
And that's why that restart was so critical. Who controls this race after the restart?
And that's why Majeski was willing to give the bull, right? He gave the bumper right off the bat because he thought, man, I get control of this. They're not getting back to me.
You see Eckes moving around. He was a little bit higher down there trying to get some air on the nose of that truck.
Christian Eckes has finished second here 2 times, running in the 3rd spot.
Running that second lane there in 3 and 4, trying to just find any kind of speed and grip he can get, try to get that run down the front straightaway.
So impressive. Andres Perez making his debut, running 9th right now. Luke Fenhouse, another one of those drivers making his debut. He's in 10th right behind here, but we're going to have a nice, a fun time with a guy that's going to drive that 7 truck at Nashville, our next race.
Yeah, fun announcement made this week by Spire Motorsports. Our buddy, our colleague, Clint Boyer, jumping behind the wheel at Nashville. Of all places, you take Clint Boyer to Nashville. I think it's safe to say we're going to have a good time calling that one.
The party's going to start when we get to Nashville for sure.
Hopefully the party happens after the race for Clint, not before. I
don't know if it happens before. He might be faster. I don't know.
I don't think it's like golf, Jamie.
Boyer's a 3-time Truck Series winner. I know he's been out running, getting in the best shape he possibly can to get back in there. That's got to be fun for him.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Right now it's fun for Sanchez trying to figure out how to get around the 99 of Ben Rhodes. He got a nose up beside him just a lap ago. There's Connor Mozak, the 45. Right now, Connor's being shown a lap down in the 22nd spot. But the 18 of Ankrum and the 71 of Raja Caruth are battling for position. There goes Sanchez side by side.
Trying to get it. They've been working on this between the 2 of them, and Nick Sanchez trying to take that 4th spot. They just keep swapping.
They haven't been working together.
No, they're working against each other.
Totally
but
working
they're working
against
together for our benefit.
Okay, that's right. That's right. Eckes now all over the back of Majeski in a battle for second.
Turning up the wick.
Yeah, Majeski, he had that good fire-off speed, but not able to get that clean air in his truck. You got to think he was pushing really, really hard. Maybe he overheated his tires a little bit, and Eckes has done a good job of getting that top side figured out. He's doing it on both ends right now, and he's pulled up to him.
Well, as these two continue to battle, they're backing up to the leader. Corey Heim now extending that lead by a second.
Well, Eckes has got to make quick work right here. He's got a truck that I think can go up there and race with Corey Heim, but he's got to make quick work. He can't make this pass take too long. As they run side by side, they're going to cost speed. He needs to clear him here, which he goes for the big move.
Misses the corner. Up the track, Christian Eckes goes. Ty Majeski hangs on to it.
And that's how you lose a lot of time to the leader. He thought, man, I got to slide him here. I got to get clear and go, which I like that idea.
Just overcooked it just a little bit.
A little too much cooking. And now he's got to try again. So not only did it cost him speed because he blew the corner, he also has to get Majeski again, get to his side one way or another again and do it all over again.
And watch Majeski move up to take the line away, do a little air blocking.
Yep.
Thor Sport versus McAnally versus Rev Racing all in a row. Tricon Garage for Corey Heim out front. Eck is trying anything. I like how he's moving around. You mentioned it. He's been working all the different lanes, trying to make up a little bit of ground. Does it work here? As he takes a peek to the inside of Ty Majeski. This is for second.
Just don't overcook it this time.
There you go. He's able
to.
They
stay off each other. He does it. Christian Eckes into second.
It's going to actually cost Majeski third because Sanchez took advantage of Eckes moving Majeski way up the hill to grab that spot.
Yeah, he didn't give him a chance to fight him off the corner there. Which, you know, if you're Majeski, it's probably going to tick you off a little bit. You know, you're going to say, yeah, I didn't really appreciate that. But let's be honest, there's 10 laps to go. He's got a truck that can do it. He's just lost too much time. I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty certain he is not going to be able to reel in that much in 9 laps. But you never know. You get that top going, you get some. You might have a caution right here as well that can make the difference.
That's Lawless Allen. He is on the lead lap, running in the top 20. Connor Mozek, remember, he's 1 lap down now. He's the second truck 1 lap down. Brett Holmes is in a free pass position if the caution were to come out.
Remember, a little added benefit to winning this race. You're also going to pick up $50,000 from Craftsman for that triple truck challenge.
That lap, Christian Eckes is a couple tenths faster than Corey Heim. So he's definitely got the faster truck right now. He's got that high line working that no one else is doing. And Nick Sanchez is hanging with him. They're both fast and catching the leader.
Corey Heim did win the $50,000 here 2 years ago when he won this race.
Nice battle here. Lane Riggs in the 38 truck finished third a couple of weeks ago at North Wilkesboro. His best effort of the season. Remember, he's on those fresher tires. Lane Riggs last pitted on lap 133 versus 116 for Corey Heim, 122 for Christian Eckes.
Eckes another couple tenths quicker that lap. I maybe eat my words here. He may catch him.
Well, Christian Eckes has finished second the last 2 years here. He does not want to finish second again.
He will not be happy with finishing second. But he's going to have to hold off Nick Sanchez to do that. About even that lap.
You see he kind of got loose down in the 1 there too, and Sanchez starting to push him a little bit as well, which is not going to help him catch the leader.
Some really good stories, good days for the guys in the top 10. Luke Fenhouse still running 10th. Andres Perez in 9th. It's got to be a nice shot in the arm for them, making their debut in the next level of racing for their career.
Chase Purdy grabbing that spot from Ben Rhodes. Chase now up to 6th. Good run for him.
Sanchez, he's got a truck right now, man. He's got one that can do some pretty special things. It's just not going to be an easy pass of 5 to go, especially with a truck that's got that top lane rolling. It's going to be really hard to kind of keep working that bottom, especially this late into a run, to try to make that pass.
And I think right now Eckes realizes he's not going to catch Corey Heim. He's going to have to play a little defense on the 2 of Sanchez.
You do see in front of the leader, there is a couple lap cars there in front of him, which, you know, this late in the race, usually they get out of the way, but you never know.
Joey, wasn't it after stage 1 that we said, you know, Corey Heim hasn't had a Corey Heim kind of day. He hasn't really been able to shine yet. He was back there like 9th or 10th.
It wasn't time yet, Tammy.
It wasn't Heim time.
It wasn't Heim time, but I believe it has reached a quarter to Heim right now.
He has led the most laps today, 61 laps. I think he liked that challenge. Not that he cares what we have to say.
I don't think he heard us.
He was hammered down after that first pit stop. Working his way around Thad Moffitt.
Just as you mentioned, the lap trucks are getting out of the way, doing a nice job, recognizing that our leader's coming.
Well, for Corey Heim, Scott Zipadelli, that race team, what a comeback this will be for them. After Charlotte a week ago, the disappointment of having that penalty, the 3 loose lug nuts, losing all those points. Now they have to start that march forward. Remember, there's only 4 races remaining in the regular season. And then it's the championship. There's Scott Zipadelli, the genius on the box.
Maybe headed towards win number 4 of the year.
This dynamic pairing, Joey. You know, when you find that magic with the driver and a crew chief, you and Paul Wolfe certainly have it, but these two have it.
Absolutely. When you get that connection and you understand each other's as, you know, driver and crew chief, they can talk it out. They can have the hard conversations. They can push each other. That's what makes a strong race team.
White flag is in the air for Corey Heim. 1 lap to go. These race fans, these race teams waited out a 2.5-hour delay for rain in and out. Finally got the track dry, fired him up, and it's been a day for Corey Heim. Ty Majeski was strong early, leading 43 laps. Corey Heim leading now what will be his 65th lap. 1 corner to go. Corey Heim, 3 wins in the bag. 1 win here, and he gets it done. Corey Heim wins it at St. Louis. And he also picks up that bonus cash, winning race number 2 of the Triple Truck Challenge.
Do you think Scott smiles, or is he just like, is he grumpy all the time?
Was that just a relief? A relief?
Smile, bud.
Awesome adjustments every night. Thank you for working hard for me there. Got this thing so much better. That's what a team's all about right there. We're going to be tough to beat. Proved it today. Put it all together. That's how you do it. Awesome job.
Corey was talking about all the changes that they made. I talked to Scott Zipadelli this morning. He said our truck was not a winning truck yesterday. Said we had to make a bunch of changes. There's only a limited amount of changes that they will allow them to do because of an impound. And I think they changed about everything that they would change. And I believe it all worked.
He about hit the wall right there.
Yeah, he did.
Cringe for a second. Don't wreck that thing. I think he scared himself. He stalled it. He'll get her back around. I'm sure we're not done burning out. Here we go.
9th career win in his 53rd start. 21-year-old Corey Heim burns it down. I love when the team is on the wall like that, Joey, and they can celebrate with you.
It is a lot of fun. Well, there's nothing like winning, really. Really the one part I enjoy about racing, really, is we don't do this for fun at this level. It's about winning. And you know, when you do that, you enjoy every second of it because it's so hard to do. And look at him nose it into the wall, hang out with the team.
You're the king of burnouts. What do you think of the show he just put on?
You know, we're kind of a little all over the place here. I think he's excited about winning. I think it's all that matters.
And the team greets him.
I love when the pit crew and the team come out onto the racetrack and you celebrate together.
It's hot time for the 4th time this season. Gets the job done. Hugs all around. There's Scott Zipadelli. I think he had a half smile. There it is.
That's a big smile.
Look at him.
That's a big smile right there.
Take a picture quick. He's smiling.
True team effort. Love hearing that they weren't perfect. They had to make the adjustments. Well, it's been a fun day on pit road. Michael Waltrip, who's usually up here in the booth with us, he's been on pit road bringing us the stories, the interviews, and now, Michael, you get victory lane.
It is Heim time. Corey Heim heading to the fans. Going to grab that checkered flag. What a performance this team put together today. What a feeling this must be for Corey. Running down pit road, gives the flag to a fan. That is awesome. Corey Heim, what a day you had today. This team did a great job adjusting your truck, but those last laps, you were getting pressured, and you just put it all together. Great job, bud.
Total team effort today. We actually struggled a bit yesterday and worked overnight on it, and just have to say this pit crew has redeemed themselves. Last week felt like we could have won the race, and admittedly they made some mistakes, but they redeemed themselves today, and that's what it's all about. So total team effort on this 11 crew. So thankful for Tricon Garage Total Racing Safe Flight. That was awesome.
You know what I love? Right now you're thinking about the burnout and the team and how cool it is. You just won an extra $50,000 from CRAFTSMAN. How does that feel?
Trust me, I was thinking about it coming to the line too. It's just a great day. I mean, what a day. So thankful for everyone a part of this. Like I said, Tricon Total Racing Safe Flight. Couldn't do it without them. Just on top of the world right now. We got such a great race team and such a long season ahead.
Yeah, congratulations. Go buy a watch.
Or get a watch deal.
Well, Christian Eckes comes home in second place today. The third straight time second place for you, Christian, here at Gateway. Had some trouble on pit road on one stop. Does this feel like maybe one that got away just a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. We pissed that one away, 100%. Yeah, that sucks. I thought we had the best truck here, and I just kept having to piss the tires off trying to get up there, and then I burnt the right front off at the end, trying too much, and yeah, just lack track position. So definitely feel like we let that one slip. I'm really happy with my guys for bringing me this fast of a truck, but obviously super disappointed in that. So, but can't thank Gates, Napa, Chevrolet, everybody enough, Sparks Tire and Auto. Just disappointing for sure. 3 second places in a row here, and thought this was the best of the 3.
All right, thanks, Christian.
Frustrating when you know how good your truck is. Well, here's the Toyota 200 unofficial results. Corey Heim, Christian Eckes, just heard from them.
See, Stuart Friesen keeps his roll going. Another top 10. Ben Rhodes as well. So important there right near the cut line. And I'm just so impressed with Andres Perez and Luke Finhouse. We saw Luke spin early, caused the first caution, fought his way back, got the free pass, got back on the lead lap with some pitch strategy there, ran long, was able to catch that caution, got a top 10 finish.
Yeah, that's a great recovery, all that as well. Lane Riggs had some damage on the nose, still able to come home with a top 5 finish as well. So definitely it was a race that you had to just keep battling through the strategy, through the cautions, the adversity, the damage that may be to your truck because of the crazy restarts. These guys did it the best.
Let's check in with Regan Smith with Ty Majeski.
Jamie Ty Majeski starts on the pole today. You come home in fourth. Looked like maybe after that last restart, a brief moment that you were going to have an opportunity to at least get door to door. What more did you need at the end?
Yeah, sometimes when you're the better truck in the beginning, you get gun shy to make changes to keep up with the racetrack, and I think we fell a little bit behind. Just fought tight as the run progressed, and just didn't keep up the racetrack enough. And I think the 11 and the 19, some of the others, were able to make changes because they were catching us, and they felt like they couldn't win the way they were. We felt like maybe we could, and yeah, just didn't keep up with the racetrack enough, Regan. Disappointing, but we executed on all fronts today. I thought our strategy was good. Picker did a phenomenal job. Just a little bit short with our Road Ranger bucked up energy 4 F-150 today, but overall something to build on. Thank you to Duke and Rhonda for letting us come to the racetrack and do what we love to do.
All right, thanks, Ty.
Really nice effort for that man. We talked about him a whole lot, especially the first 2 stages of the race. How about the playoff leaderboard here coming in? We talked about the shifting that happened after Charlotte.
Yeah, not much of a shift here other than the fact that Matt Crafton lost some more ground with a myriad of troubles. He had a pretty good truck, but had the ignition problems. The truck kept shutting off. Now he finds himself with 4 races to go, 46 below the cut line. I think it's must win now,
I think
Joey.
He's got to go out there and win. He's got to throw caution to the wind at this point. You got to go. I think if you're anyone besides Stuart Friesen, I think at this point you got to be looking at how do we win the race.
Well, unfortunately, they're going to have about 3 weeks to think about it until our next race. So if you're Corey Heim, that's good. You're just as good as your last win, right? He'll be a winner for a month. As you see, Nashville, June 28th on FS2. Clint Boyer will be in the booth with Phil Parsons and myself. Joey, awesome job. Once again, every time you're on a broadcast, you bring the energy and the insight, and we appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I had a blast for sure, and Corey Heim did even better.
Yes, he did. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern for race day. Then the Cup Series, a lot more action coming from St. Louis. And it was a day, weather and all. We thank you for staying with us. We had a good time. For Phil Parsons, Joey Logano, Regan Smith, Michael Waltrip, and our entire Fox Sports team, I'm Jamie Little. Congratulations to Corey Heim getting it done in St. Louis. So long.